Nope.
All right, so first up, the mail. So this is my Black Knight snow eclipse. He actually proved out to be a snow, and you can tell just by looking at him and his tail. You know, he was always a small gecko, but he's definitely pretty thin right now. It's at the end of breeding season. This guy's a great eater. I just need, you know, I'm getting a couple thousand mealworms tomorrow, so I'm gonna pump all my guys who are just finished breeding back up, and hopefully they rebound really quick. So if you know the story behind this guy, I actually drove to San Mateo, which was like 2 hours, and I picked him up, and the guy actually gave me some queen ants too, which didn't end up doing too well. I've not had luck with them with queen ants, but definitely a sick gecko. He swore it was an eclipse, but it's obviously an eclipse, and it proved out to be because I bred it to that eclipse right there. So he's a Black Knight eclipse snow. So let's take a look at the female. So this female, I actually thought was a super snow, and she is. So she's actually a blizzard super snow, and she's really thin right now too, but that's kind of obvious, you know, the girls laying all the eggs. And they didn't lay like too many, not a ton hatched. It was both their first years, but this girl did awesome. I can't wait to pump her back up, and I don't know if I'm gonna have the same pairing next year. I might pick up a pair of blizzards, and we'll see how things go. I might pick up a pair of blizzards, and I might put him with one of his kids or a couple of them. So she's a super snow, he's a snow. Let's look at some of the babies. Let me pull up a chair. So these are the oldest babies in the big rack. So this is a super snow Black Knight het eclipse, or het blizzard eclipse. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the female was a blizzard eclipse. So yeah, so that's the first one. Born 421. This was the clutch mate to it, a snow, and this one I thought turned out really well. It was more black and white as a baby, but it's still super dark. I might just not even worry about the het blizzard eclipse and just breed some of these dark snows together and just line breed those, because those are sick. Just having a black and white gecko. And here is, I don't have a name for this guy, but I guess we could call him Kinky. This was the super snow, you know, it's a super snow Black Knight het blizzard eclipse, and it's got the kink tail right at the base there. So I don't want to sell this animal for really cheap, because someone's just going to snatch it up and try to breed it, and I don't really want that either. So I put it on MorphMarket for around $900, and though it hasn't sold yet, it's been up for about 2 months. It actually doubled the amount of people coming to my page, because I can see all the numbers and stuff, and right after I posted that guy, twice as many people started coming and looking at my geckos, so that's awesome. And this is actually a different project with sort of same dad. This is a Black Knight snow eclipse to an eclipse, and this guy right here, same dad. It was a Black Knight snow eclipse to a eclipse, a little bit of a kink tail, but this is part of my project with my buddy. So let's go back up. You can see all these side labels that were super long, too long to put up top. Those are all the Black Knight eclipse and all that. So here's just another super snow Black Knight double het blizzard eclipse. I'm probably gonna keep a lot of these back and just try to make some, like, I want to hit the 1 in 4, but I mean a super snow blizzard eclipse is gonna really be hard to tell, just because blizzard and eclipse are very similar. So there's another one. Another super snow, and over here we have just a regular snow, but this one was really runty. I'm actually surprised how big it is. You can kind of just tell he was a runt just by how lengthy he is. He's got a nice pattern, very dark around his back, and he's actually got the not solid black eyes, which I personally like. And this is another one of those Black Knight eclipses. A lot more dark on this animal as well, but it's starting to lighten up as it gets older, as they tend to do. And this again, Black Knight Eclipse. This one's super contrasting with the yellow and the dark, but typical Eclipse just wants to scream at you. And then these were the last two eggs. So that's, you know, my Super Snow, Black Knight, Double Head Eclipse. That's what they look like as babies. So they look a lot cooler as babies. I'm hoping as they get older, they look better. And this is the other one that hatched out. So as he tries to hide from you. So he's got super cool back pattern. And I think that's because he's an obvious Eclipse. So I'm not sure, you know, if I mixed up something here and that's from the other project or what. But then you look at this Super Snow and he's also got piebalding. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's like either the female, well, yeah, it's confusing. Either the male is het for Eclipse and only showed up in that first baby, or the other project, the Eclipse, is Snow and only showed up in this one Super Snow so far. So it's kind of hard to tell. It's got to really be one of those two, but in the end, I don't know either way, and it's just kind of, we'll find out as we go, I suppose. All right, so that was just kind of like an update about all the Black Knights. I know people were asking about it. It's definitely it's one of those upper level projects where it's really awesome. You know, it's not perfect. You know, there's some tail kinks in there, and that stuff happens. And playing around with all those heads, it's kind of hard to tell what shows up and when. But I think next year I'm gonna, you know, I'll produce a bunch of stuff. I'll keep all my eggs separate, and I'll be up in the groups asking, you know, what looks like a blizzard, what looks like an eclipse, and you know, I might put the dad to a Super Snow and a Snow female, and then I might put a Super Snow to a Super Snow siblings together and see what happens. And then that eclipse will go back to the owner. These eclipses, these Black Knight eclipses back here, or Snow Black Knight eclipses as they might also be, I think, because I'm only going to get half of them, I think I'm just going to sell mine, kind of reap the benefits of that, sell them, you know, just kind of move them for a couple $100 easy. And because my buddy who I'm also in the project with is going to keep his and sell his, and I don't really want to compete with him, because to be fair, he's probably just going to breed them and sell them as quickly as he can, so he's not going to post them for very much. So I don't want to have to, you know, compete with him selling them for really cheap. So I'm just going to sell my half of that, hop out that project really fast, and, you know, maybe buy some eclipses for myself, or, you know, some other stuff. I gotta settle down and pick up those geckos I mentioned, the orange ones that I'm getting. I haven't said what they are. If you want to know, they're tangerine tornadoes. But after that's gone, I still have room for, well, that's hard. It's hard. Okay, so that's tangerine. So that's where the tangerine tornadoes are going to go at the top. That's where the Super Snows are going to go in the second drawer. Trixie, I don't know, because I have to have room for the other females that I hold back. Yeah, I guess that's it. Well, I'm going to sell the fat tails. And then I don't know if I'm going to breed lefty and righty next year. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I have a couple projects that are just iffy, and they're making a little bit of money. But if I'm being honest, I want to switch some of it out as quickly as I can with whatever budget I have, just so next year it's more on point, and, you know, I can recoup a lot more income that way. Like if I have to spend $100, you know, I can make $1,000 back off of a pair instead of, you know, making 500. It just makes more sense. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. I'm James from James Reptiles. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that definitely helps out the channel. I don't know what the next video is going to be, but I'll see you then. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that definitely helps out the channel. Make sure to hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, JamesReptiles, @gmail.com if you have any questions. And make sure to hit me up on MorphMarket. Have a good day.